So looping statements are basically used for executing the block of statements repeatedly or repeated number of steps. Basically, looping statements in Python are of two types. One is while loop and other one is for loop. So while loop is further categorized into two types. One is infinite, other one is finite. So what is this infinite while loop and what is this finite while loop? First, we'll go with finite while loop. Finite while loop is something which is executing the block of statements repeatedly until the base condition becomes false. That means, suppose if I start the process in a while condition, if the condition is true, basically the body of the while loop, I say this is the body of while loop, will be executed. This will be executed. This particular part will be executed. And this keeps on repeating until unless this base condition becomes false. Once it is false, it stops the loops process. So this is called a finite while loop. Finite while loop is something which stops at a particular point of time. When the base condition becomes false, then it stops the process. So this is the flow chart of finite while loop. So that means if I consider if I is equal to some while condition, if I start my process with 1, if I consider my while condition is less than or equal to 10, it stops at 10. It won't consider 11. That means if it considers 11, it will stop the process. Till 10, it will be giving the output and then stop the process. But when coming to the infinite while loop, there is no process of this particular thing. This keeps on repeating. The body of the while loop keeps on repeating. That means you start the process in the while condition. If the condition is true, this body of the loop executes and this keeps on repeating the process. There is no false condition at all. How to do this infinite and finite while loops in the code process? So we'll be going to the Jupyter Notebook. So here I'm having a Jupyter Notebook. So here I'll be doing, suppose let me do a finite while loop first. Suppose if I have I is equal to 1, that is my condition, prior, well, in advance. First, initially I'm taking my value as 1. And I'm giving the condition saying that while I less than or equal to 10. That means if while I is like less than or equal to 10, when I do the process, if you consider this particular flow chart, let me take a new window. So I start the process with I is equal to 1. In the while condition. While condition, here my condition is I less than or equal to 10. 1 is less than or equal to 10, right? That means it's true. Yeah. My condition is true. So this body gets executed, stating that it is 1. Stating that my output is 1 over here. This keeps on repeating. 1. It is like, again, it checks with the second process. It says 2. Because I assign with an increment over here. It takes 2. 2 also prints. It keeps on repeating till 10. When it goes for the 11th instance, it says the base condition fails. So it stops the process over there. So when the base condition is false, it stops the process. So this is how we write a finite while. I say I is equal to 1 while I less than or equal to 10. That means if the condition I is less than or equal to 10, print I. Print all the elements in that particular thing with an increment I equal to 1. It says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Suppose if I don't want the output one after one in the vertical method, I want the output in the horizontal way. How to do it? So You say print I comma end is equal to open close quotes with a space. Space gives you a space in between the values. When I execute it, it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. If I say I don't want a space, I want a comma in between, it executes with a comma. If you can see here, it executes with a comma. Suppose if I want a star, it executes with a star. So in that way, it gives what all you give, because it's considering in a string format. If you won't give any space in between, then it won't consider any space. It looks very much clumsy. So rather than getting a clumsy output, you give a space in between and then execute. So you get a detailed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That means till 10 you get the values. Your values will be printed over here in the while loop. This is a while condition for infinite while. Suppose now we have done some infinite while loops. Let me do a small problem in infinite while. So what I do is I want to write a program to sum all my instances in the given condition. One after one, each and every value should be appended. That means I have to sum all the values. So how to write a small sum program in the while condition? Let me take I, a value with which I have to start with. I have considered the value as 1, and I consider my sum. Initially I am considering my sum, the sum value as 0. I say while I less than or equal to 10 condition, I say sum is equal to sum plus I. Initially sum is nothing but 0. So initially I've considered my sum as 0. So 0 plus 1. I here is 1. So it would be 1. Once 1 was there, 1 will be taken, 1 will be considered as sum. So 1 plus next value I will be 2. It would be 3. Next it will be 2. 2 plus 3 would be 5. In this way, one after one, what would be the sum? What would be the sum? So for that, what I have done is I want to know the sum. I say sum is equal to sum plus I. I want an increment 1, and I then say print sum. So it have considered, so initially 0 plus 1 is equal to 1. 1 plus 2 would be 3. 3 plus 3 would be 6. So here, rather than taking this 2, you have to consider 3, because this one will be coming over here. I made a mistake over here. So 3 plus 3 would be 6. 6 will be carry forwarded. 6 plus 4 would be 10. 10 will be carry forwarded. 10 plus 5 is equal to 15. 15 would be carry forwarded. 15 plus 6 would be 21. So on till 10 you have to go. So what would be the answer? So you will be getting 1, 3, 6, 10, 15, 21, 28, 36, 45 and 55. When I keep my print inside the while loop, then you will be getting a detailed output. If suppose I don't want all these outputs one after one, I want only the final output, like so-called 55, then what I have to do? You have to bring the print statement outside the while loop like this. If you execute it like this over here, you will be getting 55. So this is how you have to get the final output. This is the difference between print statement inside the loop and print statement outside the while loop. So these are about the finite while loops. When coming to the infinite while loop is something we use for the block of statements which executed repeatedly keep on up to sufficient memory. Until unless the memory space was there, it keeps on executing. How to write an infinite while loop? In infinite while loop, always if the condition is true, it keeps on repeating. If I say while condition is true, print hello. If I say so, let me just I'm just decreasing the font size so that it will be very much clear for you for understanding. When I execute, it keeps on executing. When I just scroll this down, it again going up. When I scroll this down, it again going up. So to stop the process, you have to click here, interrupt the kernel. When you click over here, then it interrupts the kernel and this particular thing stops over here. So if you go down, it says keyboard interrupt had happened. That's the reason it stops. So infinite while loop, there is no end for it if the condition is true. Then going on, how to interrupt this infinite while loops? So always we have to use a few statements so-called break or continue to stop the infinite while loops at a particular point of time. Break statement. When coming to the break statement, break is basically a keyword in Python. So break is used in loops generally to break the statements in the infinite while loops. That means when you do a process, suppose if I consider my initial value as I equal to 1, while I less than or equal to 10, print hello, comma I, so that you will have a clear understanding of the process. If I equal to 5, I want to break the process. Break is something which stops the process at that particular point of time. That means at 5th iteration, after 5, it breaks the process, and all the process should be considered with the increment I plus equal to 1. So when I execute this, let me just come down a little and then execute so that you can see a clear understanding of the program. So hello, I say 1, because 1 till 5 it will be printed. Even though it is 10, it prints till 5 because I break the process at 5. That means at that particular instance, it stops the process and continues with the remaining things. So hello 1, hello 2, hello 3, hello 4, and hello 5. It stops. That's it. When coming to the continue statement, continue is also very much similar to break. Continue is also a keyword in Python. That is the similarity which we can find. Break is a keyword in Python, whereas similarly, continue is also a keyword in Python. I see. When you consider this continue statement, what is the difference between continue and break? Break is something, it stops the process at the particular break statement. But whereas continue is something, it skips the particular iteration. If you consider I is equal to 5, 5 won't be executed. After that, it again continues with the next process. Suppose if I say I is equal to 1, while condition I give I less than or equal to 10 with an increment. If I say I equal to 5, it continues the process. That means it won't print 5. It go on with, it skips 5 and it goes on with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and 11 simultaneously. I say I give hi, hey, and I say I. So it says, as I've given the increment over here, it says hey 2, 1 plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 will be skipped off. This particular continue is something which skips the particular iteration. Skips the particular iteration and then follows the remaining thing. This is about finite and infinite while loops and infinite while loops with break and continue statement. Clear?
Deepika, Deepika,
Yes.